Welcome back. Another video. Part of the playlist, Monetize Your Haters. And in Monetize Your Haters, if you don't know, we go through videos, comments on multiple different platforms, if you will, in which people have some things to say about me. Quite often mean things. And we go through them. Today, we're going to be responding to a comment. I've already posted this on my community wall, but we're going to be responding to a comment that somebody left actually on my other video that was also part of this Monetize Your Haters playlist. Now, I did this video about some guy that did a video about me exposing me, right? Young Ripper 5'9" exposed. And in the comment section, we see this guy who had this to say, and we'll go through it. You're politicizing comics. That's all I do. Okay? Now, let's talk about that, right? I politicize comics is the claim that this guy's making. I politicize comics. Okay? Now, I personally am a response agency at best in terms of what I may say that's in response to something that may be along the social political lines, right? It's a response. I read the books quite often. These guys that comment that are mad at me don't even read the books. I at least read the books, right? Even stuff like this that you guys don't read, such as Captain Marvel. And I'm a response. You know, that's all I'm doing. I'm just responding, right? I'm a response agency if you consider what I say regarding comics to be politicizing them, right? I don't do anything other than analyze what's in the comic book. I'm not the one that writes this. So to say that I'm the one politicizing them, first of all, it's not even an argument, but it's silly when you consider the fact that all I do is respond. I'm not going out of my way to just simply politicize it, right? I am responding to what's going down in the comics. I'm not even a guy that believes, I know a lot of folks are like, we want politics out of our comic books. My issue is less with the politics being in the comics and more about it being unbalanced when it comes to the major two. It's only really one ideology, if you will, let's say mainstream leftism, that dominates mainstream comics in terms of the big two, right, in Marvel and DC. And that is they don't really present any sort of alternative in that regards. So it feels like you're being beat over the head when you're reading this because it really only presents one particular political affiliation in a positive manner, that is. Everything else that might be presented is presented as, let's say, not good, right? As the villain, if you will. So that's been my biggest gripe. I don't necessarily even have an issue with the politics being in the comics, but either way, I don't write these comic books. Marvel does not hire me. DC does not hire me. So to say that I'm politicizing them is kind of crazy. Gamergate sent out the message, white boy nerd culture. Okay. White boy nerd culture makes good alt-right recruiting grounds. Now, I wasn't even part of the whole Gamergate thing, but I'm guessing he's saying that proved that or whatever happened out of the Gamergate thing proved that there are some sort of alt-right recruiting grounds regarding white boy nerd culture. So that's a little interesting because he just said that I'm the one politicizing things, but he literally politicized the comic books. If he is going to apply that same logic to comic books and saying that they are quote unquote white boy nerd culture. Interesting. So what it sounds like he contradicted himself, or more so it was a self-detonating point rather than a contradiction, more self-detonating, because he just said that, and then 2 sentences after he said you're politicizing comics, he immediately goes to the politicizing of the comic book culture. But it's interesting that he says that it's white boy nerd culture. So you do the alt-right Fox News, and that's funny that he that lets you know how much of a basic chump these guys are when it comes to politics, as they conflate those two regarding alt-right and Fox News. That lets me know right there that he's just using alt-right as a boogeyman term. He actually doesn't even know what it is in the terms that of the people that actually identify as alt-right versus the guys over at, let's say, Fox News. I can actually disagree with both of those sides in terms of what Fox News maybe on net, not even on net, like let's say general, right, present. Because Fox News, even though they have guys that don't necessarily agree with each other on everything, but to peg it as to try to pin the alt-right on them is a little silly. But the fact that he just used those like they're synonymous terms when they're not. I mean, they're Fox is more mainstream conservative, and mainstream conservatism is not alt-right. I don't care what you feel about alt-right or whether you agree or disagree with it. That's completely irrelevant. That's objective fact. But alt-right, Fox News 101 of hunting out something of no particular substance to get angry about, make a video pitched at guys with a reading age barely scratching 12, okay, droning on about SJW's libtards, women being the real enemy. Now, the interesting thing is that I've done videos about people that try to go out of their way to get mad about something, right? And the fact that he pins that on me just goes to show that guy makes video, I disagree with it, or makes videos in terms of his themes, I disagree with it. Therefore, I'm going to pin him really on everything that I dislike. And in this case, it's what he says is droning on about SJW libtards, women being the real enemy, which I've never really presented that as a position. Pandering to an audience that is 80% bot. Okay, so like when people call these guys non-playable characters, I think this is representative because what he's doing is what I feel is just level one, using sort of buzz terms and buzz ideas, right? The whole bot, right? Everybody that disagrees with me is a bot. You're pandering to bots, alt-right, Fox, and look at all the buzzwords, right, that he uses in this comment. Alt-right, Fox News, right? Then he's going on about other, I guess, on the opposite side, right? Their sort of buzz terms, if you will. Bot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is why people call them non-playable characters. It's because it's like I'm predicting what you're going to say. And this is like why I laugh at it, because it's so on level one. There's nothing to expose. You're just another alt-right grifter. So I am an alt-right grifter is what this guy says to me. It goes to show that alt-right, which is why it became a meaningless term, alt-right is simply people that disagree with me. Because if you're willing to throw that out there so willy-nilly, the term means nothing. You can't even properly identify it. To be fair, unlike Laura Loomer, I reckon you're smart enough to wear nappies if you ever chain yourself to Twitter's front door, but you're still a comics culture crap stain is what he called me. So comic culture crap stain. First of all, I never chained myself to anybody's headquarters. That's kind of silly. But he's spent 2 paragraphs, if you will, saying nothing. Just a bunch of nonsense, right? Just a bunch of nonsense. But that's where we're at, right? That's where we're at. Instead of, granted, he could have used that as an opportunity to go through my actual points. I disagree. This is a why. No. Instead, white boy nerd culture, alt-right, Fox News, bot. Okay, man. Like, you're not saying anything. And this is why I try to make myself open to, try to have some conversations with people that are maybe on the opposite end as me. If you, pay attention to this page and in my YouTube, I brought people on a lot. and I've done some live streams with them. In terms of people that disagree with me, but for somebody to, I tell you what, Martin, if you see this video, feel free to comment. I'll see it. And what I'll do is, if you want to come on the show, you can tell me all about myself. We can either do it for Canon's sake, or we can do it via live stream, and you can just tell me about myself. And I would love to see if you actually have the mental capacity to even just think on your toes and actually defend the nonsensical claims that you make. I would love to have a conversation with you, Martin. So by all means, please reach out to me, and I'll set that up. I will get that set up. And my battery just exhausted, so the video is going to be done. Until next time, y'all be easy.